welcome back to my channel and my craft table. And if you're new here, my name is Jen. I'm really glad to meet you. So today's video are 2 crafts that you can make for any man in your life, Father's Day, birthday, etc. So I did want to tell you up front that during the second craft, after all of that was weeded out, the footage of putting that craft together at the very end, that footage was lost. So you're gonna see the first project, no problem. The second project, right after the weeding, then it goes into the ending of the video. So I just wanted you to know that you will not be seeing me press some iron-on vinyl onto a shirt during that last few minutes, and of course project showcase. So let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite, and let me know what it is that you love to give to your favorite guy. All right, so let's go ahead and head to the craft table and get started. So I got this at Michael's. It's just the sublimation bottle opener. Okay, this is actually a 4-pack. I have already printed out the design that I'm gonna use. I've got some heat transfer tape. I have some scissors, and I have several pieces of butcher paper. The other thing that I will be using today is my Easy Press 2 and my heat resistant pad. So let's go ahead and start putting this bottle opener together. Okay, first I'm going to take my sublimation paper. Now this was printed on my Epson sublimation printer. I have the SureColor printer. This is not an inkjet printer, so it is sublimation ink and sublimation paper, and this is just the Makerflow Crafts sublimation paper. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to just trim off these registration marks. These were created in Design Space, but I don't need them because I'm just going to sublimate directly onto my surface. But I did put this design together from a few things in Design Space. Then I just printed it from there to my printer. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit over to the side. The next thing I want to do is I want to prepare the bottle opener. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and open this. Sorry about that loud noise. Okay, so these come in a pack of 2 here, and it has a protective tissue between both of them, and then there's another 2-pack here. So this is a pack of 4, and I'll be honest, I forget how much I paid for it at Michael's, but I usually wait till I have some sort of voucher or coupon, plus I also get my teacher's discount. I'm gonna leave this here on the other side of me so that I can refer to the directions. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this off just using this little lint roller, or this little lint-free cloth right here, making sure that's nice and clean. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my butcher paper and set that on there. Okay, and I think I'm going to put it like this. All right, and I know sometimes with a t-shirt, it's really handy to go through the edge of your design and just kind of tear the paper a little bit so that you don't get a hard edge. All right, I think that's pretty good for right now. All right, I just turned on my Easy Press 2 to get that to warm up, and we're gonna be pressing at 385 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna be doing that for about 90 seconds. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to take this design and I want to flip it over, and I want to get it as close to the middle as possible. And I want to try and be as straight as possible as well. Okay, I think that looks about right. And I'm going to use heat resistant tape. This is just the Cricut brand heat resistant tape. Please do not use Scotch tape on sublimation projects or in your mug press or any of your heat projects, because quite frankly, you will end up with a huge mess. And I am an over adheser. I want to make sure that not only does this not move, but since sublimation basically takes all of that ink, turns it into like a gas, and then as it cools back down, it becomes solidified down into the surface of your item. I want want to make sure that there is no seepage either. I want to have all even pressure all the way around. I also want to make sure that nothing escapes. You certainly do not have to use this much tape, but this is something that I find works for me, especially when I do mugs or sublimation projects. And that way nothing moves and I don't have to worry about this shifting and causing some ghosting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Easy Press mat. We are going to use, in fact, I think I'm going to put I'll put 3 pieces of butcher paper down. I'll put my bottle opener just like this. I'm going to be placing another piece of butcher paper on top. And then as soon as my heat press is ready, we will get this pressed and then we will be able to reveal the project. Okay, so my Easy Press is ready. And I'm going to grab this. I'm basically going to be really, really careful. I'm going to set this straight down and then I'm going to let it go and I'm going to wait for this to finish. Okay, now I'm going to just lift this straight up, just like that. I'm going to put this back in its cradle. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some tweezers here because I'm going to slide this off onto this little towel here. Have it go on actually, this is a glass mat. I'm just going to grab all of these pieces of butcher paper and I'm just going to slide it off and then I'm going to let this cool. All right, I'm taking it off of the mat because this mat is designed to hold heat in and a glass mat will help cool this down relatively quickly. And while I let this sit, I'm going to go ahead and just clean up a couple of things, but then in just a moment, this will be ready to reveal. Okay, I am going to go ahead and slide this off. I'm going to remove these pieces of paper, get this closer to my mat here. It's still warm. It's warm to touch. It's not going to burn me at this point, but it is still quite warm. So I'm still going to let this sit for several more minutes. And then this paper here, there is no seepage anywhere. However, it looks a little worse for wear. So this is probably something that I would toss and not keep it, but I'm very pleased to say that nothing seeped out around the image. Okay, while we're still waiting for this to cool just a little bit more, I wanted to bring your attention to something. This is the sublimation directions on the back of the packaging. And then right here is the QR code, and you can scan that and it'll take you here to michaels.com. And this is a heat pressing guide for their Make Market brand. So it talks about all of the different surfaces, the temperature minimum and maximum, the time duration, and what I like is that it tells you whether it is heat press or sublimation oven. So there's a few things that are both, but most things are heat press and only a few things are sublimation oven. And then it's got a few other application directions down here. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you're someone who is new to sublimation and you're looking for the directions when you're doing a project. And I think this is definitely ready. I can handle this. So I'm going to very carefully peel off all of this tape. Okay, here is our big moment of reveal, and I'm very nervous. I've never made one of these before, so I am really hoping that this came out well. Okay. Not too bad. I actually might redo this, but you can see where it's a little bit light, like right in here. So maybe I could have used a little more pressure or a little bit higher heat, or I could have used a little bit longer time. Now, it's not bad. This is actually pretty good. And quite frankly, my dad is going to be 70. He's obsessed with bowling. And I honestly don't think he would sit here and critique this. But I'm just going to take a look at this in a little while, and I'm going to decide if I'm going to redo this. But overall, I think it was a great success. I'm pretty pleased with it. And yeah, this was fun. And you could probably also do this with the infusible ink products. Okay, so the infusible ink transfer sheets, both the Cricut and the Make Market brand. You could definitely make a personalized bottle opener, and I actually might be making one of those for my husband. Okay, for the second part, we're gonna make a shirt to go with the bowling bottle opener. So I've got my Easy Press mat, a Teflon sheet, I have my lint roller, the shirt that I need, I have the measuring tape, then I've got my vinyl. This is already pre-cut through my Cricut. This is scissors, 2 weeding tools, and then the design here. Now I will tell you that because of the size that I needed for this project, I did have to cut this on a 12 by 24 mat, and there was one piece of vinyl in particular that wasn't quite wide enough, but I found an extra piece, and so I just placed these side by side and got the entire image cut. I'm super excited because I was worried that I didn't have enough. All right, let's go ahead and get these weeded out, and then we'll take a look at the design and we'll take a look at everything that needs to go onto the shirt. All right, well, I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a little bowling ball emoji down in the comments. Let me know that you made it to the end. And as always, until I see you in the next Carter Craft, have an amazing day and happy crafting.
Thank you all so much for watching today. I'm so glad that you can join me at my craft table. If you're not already, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when new videos arrive. Have a great day, and as always, happy crafting.